It's always a good day when you get home and there is a package waiting for you. Even better is when you're completely not expecting it, as long as it's not a bill, obviously. And this package was sent to me by the fantastic team at Adler, specifically Leon, completely unprompted, with no warning. And I guess you can tell already what we're going to be looking at. These are his new Fallschirmjager that have been released recently, I think in October of this year, which I was completely unaware of, so it was bad on my part. But as you can see, these sculpts are lovely. Adler do some of the finest 20mm miniatures on the market. I love their airborne figures, and these are just going to fit in just perfectly alongside my AB, Simon Soldier, CB models, etc. Now, these particular miniatures are great. The facial expressions are always lovely with Adler. The level of detail is always really top notch. And I know, speaking to Leon, he uses Tony at AB figures, sculpts as like inspiration. He tries to get them to match almost perfectly. And they really do. You can tell just how much effort he puts into getting the details just correct. I love the variety in the poses and the equipment. Not all one figure is the same. They all have different facial expressions, different poses, all looks supernatural, doesn't look robotic or silly. Everything looks in proportion, to the head, to the body, to the weapons. The weapon detail is really nice, as you can see on this MP40, over there the barrel's a bit bent there, but lovely. And you could use these for the Mediterranean as well as Normandy. They're based for 42, I believe, to 45, or 43 to 45. I think it's 42. So some have got the sleeves rolled up, some have obviously got them just normal, and they've got a mix of headwear. So you've got helmet covers on, helmet covers off, then you've got some with like that chicken wire on there, and then just lots of different types of equipment. It's not all one figure is the same in terms of the equipment, and they're not all got sleeping bags on their back. It all varies. They've got the extra Kar98 pouches that are slung around their shoulders that are common with the Fallschirmjager. As you can see, there is a bit of cleanup work involved with these miniatures, but that is the case with Adler. There's a little bit of cleanup involved in terms of the lines and a little bit of excess flash. But that's really straightforward, guys. That's nothing to complain. It's all part of being a wargamer, especially working with metal models. Very, very rare you're going to get miniatures that don't have much cleanup when it comes to metal. Some have a bit more than others, and I'd say Adler are probably in that range of having a bit more. But as you can see there, it just comes off really easily, even though I think I might just broke the barrel of that Kar98. But I can fix that up, that's no problem. Now, these Fallschirmjager with the Panzerfaust are really lovely indeed. Everything, again, just looks really nice. I love this guy. He's like firing it with his mouth open, like, hope this works. But yeah, it just looks really, really good. This guy, you can attach the crate yourself. So there you see there's a little pin coming out of his leg. You might be able to see there on my big old chunky fingers pointing at. There's also a handle, so you can line it up nicely and just give that a whack of super glue, and that will go on straightforward enough, I'm sure. Then we've got another one with his mouth open, as if he's yelling to potentially say where a target is or something. Again with that big fat Panzer Shrek. And then we've got one of the guys loading it. So you can see this guy's got his mouth partially open. It's not fully open as if he's screaming. Which, most of us would do. There's also the option to buy a couple of extra figures, a couple of extra riflemen, obviously to bulk out a platoon, and their arms come separated, or their hands come separated, which is unusual. I think that's to stop the buildup of metal between the rifle and the body, which is a really nice touch. That's something that you don't see a lot of companies doing, but I hate having to file in between that gap because you lose some detail. Sometimes you can't get it, and I just have to paint it in like a really dark brown just to hide it. So the fact that Leon's done that is really nice. Another huge positive with Adler Miniatures is their bipod system. So we see we've got this guy with this MG42 now who's prone. We'll see the bipod in a minute, but this figurine itself is really nice. But the bipod itself, you can see that there's that nice gap between each leg. That is a real big benefit. I hate having to try and trim away that excess metal between them. Then we got another guy with all of his, and you can see this guy needs a little bit of work, or quite a bit of work, to get rid of some of that metal running along right in the middle of his face. But again, nothing a metal file won't fix up, and even a Stanley knife, just a blunt Stanley knife will do the trick nicely. Then we got a guy with an MG42 running, again, just a little bit of work to get him looking a bit better. Now, if I am comparing them to AB figures, we've got one of their Fallschirmjager here. Now, these are the more Normandy themed AB, or European themed AB Fallschirmjager, opposed to their Mediterranean. Haven't got any of them on hand to compare them with. But you can see that the AB figure is just slightly smaller. In terms of the height, it's almost identical. But the features on the AB figure are smaller. So the head actually and helmet is a lot smaller. When you micro it, when you really look into it, you go, okay, there is a bit of a difference. But from a distance, to be completely honest, you wouldn't really notice the difference. It's only when you get them super close. I can see what I'm doing now, just to get a comparison of the size of the facial features compared to those new Adler ones. You can see that there is a bit of a difference there, but they do go hand in hand in terms of the height, so you're going to get away with that really straightforwardly. Anyway, if that's a word, straightforwardly. So yeah, that is it, guys. Adler Miniatures, they've got their new Fallschirmjager range out. Please do go check it out if you're into 20mm World War II wargaming and you want some fantastically detailed metal Fallschirmjager figures. This might be a very, very good option for you to go alongside some of your other Fallschirmjager that you potentially have. So huge thank you goes out to Leon for the surprise in this. I can't wait to get some paint on these. They will have to wait until the new year, unfortunately, but we will get some paint on these, rest assured. I think we're going to go with some plain smocks for a tutorial, because I haven't really done that yet. Huge thank you goes out to my Patreons and YouTube channel members for making videos like this possible. Special mention goes out to Patrick and Oscar for being my Panzer Aces. I'm going to leave it here, guys. I'm going to let this keep playing so you can see some of the other offerings at Adler. If you haven't catched their website, I mean, look at the Marine Commandos, for example. That is really unusual. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here, guys, and I'll catch you at the next one.